Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean, this is In The Mix and we're already up to episode 32. Our structure is a little bit thrown off because we had that bonus episode on Saturday, but it's also been a long weekend in Melbourne this weekend, so I haven't had to work today, which means I've been able to jump back into the save, which has been absolutely fantastic. Get through our off season at the end of season 5 after getting promoted as champions of the Vanarama National North, and now as we do our first Vanarama National League season, we have a whole new squad that we're going to go through, introduce you guys to in this episode, and get the season started with a massive fixture. Let's jump straight into it. And as you guys can see, we are currently sitting in the Vanarama National League. For the first time in our history, we've had back-to-back promotions, 5 in a row, 5 league titles in that time as well. I do think we're probably going to plateau out a little bit this season. Last year, of course, we got caught in that mad scramble where I think we dropped as low as like 4th or 5th in the last 10 games of the season because it was so tight, because it was so even, and just through like a good little run of form there to finish off the year, we managed to get ourselves up to the top of the league and promoted as champions. I do think we're going to balance out this year because we've got, for the first time, a whole bunch of teams that are on full-time contracts while we're still on part-time deals. And some of the teams that are dropping in from League 2 level have some really high quality players. So I do think we are going to level out a little bit, but I would still like to finish in the top half, maybe in the playoff positions, if we can manage it in our first season. Best place to start, as always, is with the squad itself. So let's go in and have a look. It is a very familiar squad if you've watched the last season and the season before that, really. It's a lot of the same players that you guys will have met in that time. So I'm really just going to focus on a couple of the new faces here. I'll just read them out. So Will Dennis, of course, will continue in goal. Played with us last season, was excellent. Joel Connolly, Bellahoon, Jamie Melbourne, David Wang, Max Haygarth, Marcel Bisovic, Matty Carson, Connor Hodgson, Longello on the left wing, Christian Norton, Ben Wells, Abdi Sharif, Nakia, York, Dongdahi. They're all guys that have been in the save in the series over the last couple of seasons. We've managed to keep most of them. We've managed to give them most of them newer deals to run either to the end of this season or the end of next season, so that if we do lose them, we are going to try and sell them off and get, like maybe just 5k back just to help boost our finances and stuff, because we are, if we look at the finances, really plateauing. Like you see, we drop into debt most seasons and just get ourselves out of it by the way of winning and getting promoted. We are currently in a positive mindset, but we are paying more than we ever have before in terms of wages. So I'd expect us to kind of get further into debt so far as we go through this season. The new guys and some of the key focus guys I want to look at is, first up, Kai Knight, ex-Birmingham junior, hasn't played a lot of football in the last few years, never made his first team appearance for the club. Looks to be an excellent central defender for us. Good technical ability, good mental ability, good physical ability. 17 determination is a massive one there. For lower league footballers, you really want to see them make the most of their potential. At 23, he's got like a closing window to actually do that, but that determination kind of makes me think he will definitely be a 3.5 star defender before we know what's going on. So thrilled to bring him in. We've got James Rowland, who's going to jump in and plays like the number 6 for us. We never really nailed down that position last year. Ex-Shrewsbury Junior also played at Kidderminster. He has made quite a few first team appearances as well at 22 years of age. Can do the role quite well. His tackling is much better than what we had previously in Connor Hodgson. 2.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. Thrilled to have him, but we are keeping an eye on that position. I do want to continue trying to strengthen it. Jaden Major on the left wing. He's going to be excellent for us. Ex-Burnley Junior, ex-Liverpool Junior before that. He's playing as an inverted winger, so he's a right-footed player. We've got him working on winger and attack just to try and keep that balance so he stays wide until the last little moment to try and cut in. Still under 21, 3-star current ability, 4.5 star potential, but could definitely push towards a 5 if he gets into a good run of form. Thrilled to welcome him. Leo Gaxa we've signed. Basically, I was really happy with the Christian Norton and Austin Samuels connection last season, but once we saw the opportunity to bring in a false 9, the last one we had was Sammy Elmprion a couple of seasons ago. He was so good in that role, and it's so rare that you see it at these lower division levels that I really wanted to bring him back in and try and make the most of that player playing in the hole and in the space. We're in a flat 4-4-2, so we don't have a classic number 10, so having a forward that will slide into that area is absolutely fantastic to have, and he looks to be a wonderful player. Excellent finishing, first touch, passing, technique, everything we need out of him. Dribbling does need a little bit of work. He's on a special regime for that. Got good anticipation, good flair, excellent physical attributes, great acceleration and pace. I think he's going to be excellent for us. Still under 22, 3.5 star current ability, 4 star potential for the ex-Sheffield United junior. And Sheffield United has been a place where we have continually picked up players throughout the course of this series, as has Burnley. Austin Samuels has signed a new contract. I didn't think we were going to get there. I didn't think we were actually going to get him to sign a new deal after his phenomenal season, 43 goals in 42 appearances last year. We have given him quite a bit of money. He's on £600 a week. It's by far the highest paid player at the club by like a good $300, or £300, sorry. But I just thought we have to keep him after that sort of production rate, being settled in the team. He's already moved to icon status within the club, legend status within the club because of that one phenomenal season that he's had. There was nothing we were going to do. We were going to try and get him no matter what. He initially wanted a K. We worked him down to £600. He's signed the deal. He's worth 15K. We've got him for 3 seasons. If a big club comes calling and they want to pay a decent amount for him, we'll probably let him go to continue his development that way. But at least we've locked him down so that we get something out of that one. Either footed as well now. So I didn't know that was going to be a thing that was going to happen, but he's developed his right foot enough that he's balanced on both sides. Excellent finishing, excellent determination, excellent physical attributes, good work rate, good off the ball. He was fantastic for us last season, and hopefully he can carry that on this year at the higher level as well. The other new faces are mostly guys that you would expect to see in and around the squad. Christian Norton signed full-time terms after being on a non-contractor with us last season. We kept Abdi Sharif around, we've kept Naki around, kept Reece York, Dong Dahi, and then Marcus Snell is probably going to be a backup left back. Ex-Wigan Junior, 2-star current ability, 3-star potential. He's on next to no money and £200 a week, so we're not super worried about him at the moment, but Jamie Melbourne will likely lock down that starting left-back spot just because he has a little bit more higher potential. They're both 21 years of age. I'm not super concerned if we have to switch and rotate depending on form, fitness, and whatever else. And I'm really happy with the depth that we've got. We are currently sitting at 22 players, so 2 players for each position in the existing structure. We haven't changed the tactic or anything since the end of last season when we did a couple of little tweaks in the final games of the season, but I do think we've got a very good squad and a squad that should, hopefully, be more than enough for us to stay in the division this year. Will it win the league title? I'm not 100% sure, but we can at least continue trying to build towards that in the next season or the season after, or however long it takes us to get out of Vanarama National and into League 2. League 2 is one of the hardest jumps that you've got to make throughout the course of a series, so we're definitely setting ourselves up with a good young team, most under the age of 24, to get us into that good position. As far as the preseason schedule is concerned, we've played probably higher division teams than we have in previous years. A lot of Vanarama National League level teams, a couple of teams in lower divisions as well. We lost one game at the start to Spennymoor, but you've got to remember this is a time when players were just coming back. I think we started on the 1st of July and went straight into a friendly because I wanted to get as many in as possible and get the extra revenue for the gate receipts and all that sort of stuff. And then we've had a couple of draws before going on a really good run of winning performances. A 2-2 draw last time out against Solihull Moors, and then beating Young Boys under 21, the first international side that we've hosted, 3-0 in an excellent performance. Dong Dahi and Austin Samuels getting amongst the goals in that one. We should also tell you guys that we have a new stadium on the way, so it's going to be built in the next 2 years. It's basically just like an expansion of the bowl, I think. Really just to take it to the level of the other Vanarama National sides. In the meantime, we are going to be playing at, and I think it's in here, Highbury Stadium, which is in Fleetwood. If we go and have a look at a map, which you guys can see here, Highbury Stadium just here on the coast in Fleetwood. It is pretty much as close as we can get to Douglas, where the bowl is based on the English mainland. So for the first time ever, we are playing not on the Isle of Man, but I think we are still in a good position, and it's going to be good for the club having a 3,000 capacity stadium that's got enough seating in it, got whatever else to get us into League 2 football. And then once we're in League 2 football, all we really need to worry about is continuing to add additional seating as we grow and expand and get bigger and bigger crowds coming along to the games and all that sort of stuff. Now, Vanarama National season preview, we have got 4th in terms of the preseason odds and whatever else. They don't matter a tremendous amount. Wrexham, Bradford and Newport are all sides that have dropped down from higher divisions that will have massive reputation, and that's why they'll be up there. I don't actually think it's going to be a reflection of the strength of their squads. I think Woking's probably going to do quite well based on the Media Dream 11. Like you see here, they've got the goalkeeper. Wrexham have the right back and the central midfielder. Bradford have a whole bunch of different players in the Media Dream 11. Matty Pollock from Grimsby looks to be a good player, and we have Longello on the left wing and Samuels up front, expected to be in that first choice 11 for the division itself. That's actually quite an interesting one because Longello hasn't been starting all that many games for us. It's actually been Jaden Major that has been playing on the left-hand side. So We'll see if that's how the way the season plans out. I'm of course open to whatever. I'm happy to change stuff as needed. I've just gone with Major because he's got a bit of a higher ceiling. He can get to 4.5 star, whereas on Jello, currently only sitting around 4 star current ability. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should be doing it that way. We'll see how it plays out. As far as our opposition today, Maidenhead are currently 12-1 odds. They're expected to do quite well, and I think they're going to be a good test away from home for us in our first game at this level. More than enough talking from me. Let's jump in and have a look at the two lineups now. Alright, we are of course going with Will Dennis in goal, Knight for his debut alongside Bellahoon at the back, Melbourne on the left fullback spot, Connolly on the right fullback spot, Major coming in for his debut as well on the left wing, David Wang on the right, Haygarth will play as that Messiah linking the midfield to the attack, and Roland will make his debut as the number 6, that deep line playmaker trying to anchor midfield there. Gaxa will play at the 10 in that false 9 role. He's going to be hopefully a fantastic foil for Austin Samuels this season, also making his debut. And Samuels leading the line up top. We got phenomenal production out of him last season. If we can get even half of that, like 22, 23 goals, I would be absolutely thrilled. They're playing with a 4-3-3, which looks relatively strong. You can see they've got quite a few different players in the face pack, so they must be quite good. Adam Civitar in goal, ex-Birmingham Junior, looks to be fairly decent. They've got a Fiti on the right fullback spot, ex-Norwich Junior. They've got Haynes, who is, I think that's Coventry or Leeds, I'm guessing, at fullback. Mundell Smith, ex-Fulham in goal. It's centre-back. Benson anchoring midfield, ex-Burnley Junior. Sona, who's a player that we previously looked at. We had Miles Sona, his brother. We tried to bring Harrison in as well. Couldn't get him. Maidenhead got him instead, and he's gone on to make 69 appearances and score 8 goals in that time. They got Mikulski from Bristol on the left wing, and then up top, Charlie Brown, 24-year-old ex-Chelsea, ex-Ipswich Junior. 40 goals and 109 appearances for Maidenhead. He looks to be a fairly solid option at this level. We're going to have to be at our best to beat them. I have full confidence in the squad. We're going to assertively say nobody expects us to get a result. And I'm just going to tell everybody across the team that I've got faith in them, just so that we can hopefully go out, keep our morale high in the early part of the season, and put a little good run of results together. Not expecting to be at the top of the division all the way through this season, but certainly if we can get off to a good start, it's going to put us in a good position. We've got the ball here. Major's flicked on a header. Fite to Sona, Benson to Craig out left. They're working it very quickly side to side. Haynes at left fullback now gets a ball across to Charlie Brown. We talked about him in the build-up, and 2 minutes into our season, we have already conceded. It was a good little ball in and a good run in behind. Defence just wasn't quick switching across, and it's Haynes that gets the ball here. It's eventually the winger that goes across to him, David Wang, and defensively, you'd like to see a fullback go out there, but Brown, lovely little run in between 2 central defenders there, and smashes it home at the near post. Civitar with a long ball forward here from a goal kick or an offside. Ball pinballing around in midfield. Fitzhugh with the ball now. One across into midfield. We nearly won it back through David Wang, but they've played it outright to Fite. Their fullbacks are very much getting forward. So if we can get the ball back here, we've somehow gotten it away. Oh no, they've brought it back. Mikulski gave away a foul in the build-up. But you could see, once their fullbacks bomb on, if we do recover possession, we should be in a 2v2 situation relatively quickly. Got a throw in here on the right-hand side. Played to Gaxa. First real involvement for the new signing. Connolly, back to Bellahoon. Looks up the line, but it's only as far as Haynes, the fullback. Sona looks for a ball in behind for Brown. It's flicked on, and Dennis should come out and claim quite well. Got plenty of time. No need to rush it. You've got midfielders on if you want to look for Max Haygarth here. Dennis goes long towards fullback. No one goes after it. Haynes does well, but David Wang steals the ball back off him. Sawunmi, poor clearance into midfield. Haygarth, reverse pass to reverse pass to Gaxa, and then back to Samuels. And you would have thought if we were 10 games into the season, you probably found the finish there. Long ball forward here. Knight's recovered. We are putting on a little spell of pressure here. David Wang gets in towards goal, gets a strike away, and Gaxa with his first goal for the club and first goal for the season. He scored on his debut, which is fantastic. It was a great little run here from David Wang. I hope it goes back far enough in the 3D highlight. It is indeed. Knight plays it out to him, and he just gets the little touch here just around the fullback. Bursts into the box. The defence doesn't drop quite correctly. Gets a strike away, keeper with a good save, and Gaxa, the fox in the box, wearing his long sleeve kit, smashes that one home from a couple of yards out, and we draw level. We are also, through about 30 minutes, I'm going to use a demand more shout just to try and push everybody to look for an additional goal before half time. Throw in here on the right hand side, Connolly to take. Roland plays a 1-2, and then it's Samuels with his first goal of the season, hopefully the first of many. A wonderful, wonderful cross in there from Joel Connolly, and that near post flick on header just past the keeper, just manages to wriggle it in. So Roland does quite well here, plays it back to Connolly, just puts a good ball into the area. There were 2 defenders there, but Samuels gets in front, jumps early, and flicks that one past the on-rushing keeper to send us 2-1 up in the game itself and into second spot on the table. Dag and Red currently on top with a +2 goal difference. Ball here, Roland with the strike. What a goal that is from James Roland. The Shrewsbury Junior has smashed that one into the back of the net on his debut. An excellent, excellent strike. We'll check out 3 dimensions here. Wang takes the corner. It's headed away quite well by Suwanmi, and then Roland, excellent technique, just smashes that one back across. Keeper had to move a little bit, and with the pace on it, couldn't quite get there. Would see us go top of the division, which is well and truly ahead of what we want. I'm going to say very happy with the way things are going, lads. Keep it up. And as always, we're going to give it until about the 60-minute mark, and then we'll have a look at subs fitness. We've got 2 yellow cards we're going to have to keep an eye on as well. 60 minutes may be risky, but we're going to make 3 subs. We are going to bring on Matt Carson for Bellahoon, who's got a yellow card. Hodgson on for Roland, who also has a yellow, and Longello on the left wing for Major. Probably risky to do all 3 subs at once, but I'm just curious about this left wing conundrum and what they think we should be doing. We've got a corner, no, but we don't see that highlight. We're also going to use our Get Creative shout. I've accidentally hit calm down. Nobody seems particularly interested. And Longello's been taken off injured, so we're going to finish this one with 10 men, which isn't ideal. Maybe we drop Gaxa into midfield. He can't quite play left wing, but I'm thinking Austin Samuels 1 out might be a better option. So things going fantastically well early doors as far as the score and result is concerned. But we're going to finish this game with 10 men. Dave Wang tries to get a ball back in. It's fallen to Brunt in midfield. Ball back to Samuels. Now Dave Wang's got a chance to get in behind. Plays Samuels in. It gets the strike away, but Sivida with a good save pushes it around the post. Can I use Get Creative or Demand More or something? Corner's deep. Samuels should keep it in and recovers the ball from Haynes. I think Haynes has tripped him there, so we might have a set piece scenario. Don't want to commit too many men forward, lads. 10 minutes remaining. We're going to use our Demand More shout. Just give everyone some focus through to the final whistle. Hashtag United, of course, who we managed last season, currently winning 5-2. We'll go top of the division day 1. Brunt with the ball here. Bursting forward in midfield. Hodgson with a fantastic recovery run and tackle. Carson now clears towards Samuels, knocks it down very well for Max Haygarth. Can he find the ball over the top? Instead he goes left to Leo Gaxa. Skips past one challenge and plays it out to Jamie Melbourne, who made a very good supporting run. Gaxa's going to recover here. Knight, long ball forward, nobody really in there. A feet, looks for the long ball himself. Knight recovers again very well. Ball forward towards Samuels. He's 1 out against 4. We were asking him to do a lot. Brunt on a surging run from midfield. Reverse pass to Brown, who has an excellent strike for his second goal of the game. And it's going to set up a very tense last few minutes here because they've brought it back to 3-2. And this surging run here from Brunt was quite good. Just skipped past the challenge. I think it's Gaxa. It might have not have been. And then ball out to Brown and an excellent first time finish on his left foot back across the goalkeeper. Some good goals in this game. 6 minutes to be added on in total, probably because of the injuries and the goals. We just want to get through it. I'm fine with no more highlights. And the referee calls full time. A good 3-2 victory away from home to start the season. Finished with 10 men because I made 3 subs when I shouldn't have. That'll teach me. I'll learn my lesson for the rest of the year. They had 8 shots, 4 on target, and 44% of the ball. We had 20, 11, and 56. Best performers, James Roland. Looks like he got the best of our match ratings today. Assertively, really special lads. Nobody gave you a chance, and you all performed magnificently. So it does see us after 1 round of games in 5th spot in the promotion places or in the playoff places. Hashtag United setting the early pace. Torquay, Dag and Red, Wrexham, Billericay and Bradford rounding out that top 7. And injury worry for Longello, which is... Look, I'd never want to see anybody get injured. I don't know what his injury is. He's only out 5 to 6 weeks. It's not that bad. But we'll talk to him. Assertively, don't worry about your injury. And he appreciates that. We weren't going to start him anyway. We've been starting Major. And then Gaxa also scores on his debut, which is excellent to see. Now, where does that leave us for the future? I think what we might try and do is come back towards maybe the Wrexham and Cambridge games. I think they'll be good fixtures because they are 2 sides that have dropped down from higher divisions in the last few years. And I think they'll both be a good challenge for us to see where we're at and where we're at in the division. And we'll have 5 or 6 games played in the league by that stage to kind of gauge exactly where we're at and exactly what we're doing. As always, guys, thank you so much for the continued support. I really appreciate it. If you want to throw a like on this video to celebrate the start of Season 6, then by all means do that. If you want to subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all future videos as they're released, you can do that. You can see the links over here to follow us over on Twitter, where we do most of our interactions with the FM community, and also keep an eye on twitch.tv/inthemixer_FM for our Sunday night streams, Sunday morning if you're in the UK, where we'll continue a few different series throughout the course of the year. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.